Right, hello guys. We're joining this game about 15 minutes in. China are 1-0 up. We've started slightly behind schedule because of the stream issues we've had in the background. But we are now live with the game. Lewis will be joining me in any moment now. So yeah, we're 1-0 up to China at the moment. The stream's kind of in and out. But it is Mike on the edge of the area now. And I'm not going to try and pronounce some of the names involved in this match because I will butcher all of them. So what I've heard so far for the first few minutes is Mike has been in control with his goal. Was a very decent little finish, tucked it away nicely, and he's on the edge of the area looking for another one, and it's blocked well away by Oakley. And it is Oakley that comes down this side now. Looks to try and move the ball inside. Might try to cover, but it does go inside, and the string cuts out again. But we are back in. Oh, we're back out again. And Oakley's coming forward, puts it forward into the box. He's got the shot off. Square across goal. What a bit of defending there. He's cleared it away, and that is fantastic defending from the Mike there to not let that goal go in and not concede. Well done, that man. But it is Mike who looks to come forward straight on that counter attack, but Oakley again shields the ball off and moves away with ease. And Oakley's got the ball in the middle of the park, looking to come forward now. It's goal and it's 1-0. Oakley scores. What a goal. 1-1. The hosts are back in it in this final, in third place playoff final. Sorry. Well done, guys. That is 1-0. Great bit of football there. And it is Son, that man, who gets himself a goal. Let's get some little bit of sound in the background. It's pretty good work so far, guys. We are lost. The stream's dropped out again. The Xbox app is not having any of it today. It's not the best. Let's hope it comes back. But at the moment we are missing the game at the current moment. Oakleberry had just scored and put it back into 1-1, but we have lost it currently. So we'll wait for that to hopefully come back. It might be half time by the time it comes back in. But yeah, the Xbox Twitch app is an absolute stinker most of the time. So we'll wait for that to come back. In the meantime, we'll talk about what's going on here. So the custom OVFM cards made by Craftcraft is coming soon. So we've paired up with Craftcraft over the last few days, and they've become our official sponsor, if you like, for this season. So basically, head over to their Twitter page, and you'll be able to see all their stuff about their cards. They're a newly founded business by one of our managers, KG Dillon. So he's launched this company by himself, printing company for FIFA cards. So you've seen a couple of other accounts dotting around, but this one's officially linked to OVFM. And you'll be able to get yourself your personalised foot cards over the next couple of weeks from these guys. Using the code OVFM, you will be able to get yourself money off. So that is obviously a big benefit of using Craftcraft over any of the other providers that you might see on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. Because yeah, they will be getting a discount with the code OVFM. It's a 21% discount at the moment. Let's see if our game's back live again. I will get in touch with the lads in the third place playoffs to try and get this game back up and live. So we're still waiting, guys. I've got a comment coming in from Bob Basher, Channel 2. This is the OVFM buddy. It's like meant to be our third place playoff final. Stream live from Oakley's channel, but at the moment his channel's having a few problems, so at the moment we're missing the third place playoff. It was 1-1 between China and South Korea. It's all an online kind of career mode done through FIFA 20. Yeah, so we're still waiting for people to come back. Lewis is deserted me as well, so yeah, we lost the game. We've lost my co-commentator, but hopefully we'll have them back. Part of the stuff here. Yeah, the game's still down because the Twitch app sucks. Hopefully we'll get the second half, because obviously Oakley's channel is gone. I'm gonna give it a refresh, see if we're back in, but it's not looking hopeful. Hopefully Oakley, there might be a sign that Oakley's managed to see my message and he is refreshing this stream. Yeah, he's offline. So hopefully they're coming back, guys. We might be getting the second half going soon. There we are. We've got the game back. Fantastic stuff. We're just back in for the second half now. So I'll bring this up full screen and we will be able to go live from the second half at the Union Park Stadium, China.
If Alex could hear me, I severely apologise. I do not stream usually. Pesky is the best footballer to grace this planet, so
no, I imagine Oakley will probably check this back later, but it's all good, mate. We'll get Lewis in for the second half as well. Hopefully Lewis will be loading in. Okay, so we are back, and the Mike's through on goal, and he scored. It is 1-1 in the game. The tie is 1-1. Have we got a Lewis? I've got his mic in the background, but we haven't got Lewis talking yet, but we have got his mic in the background. And it is 1-1.
There we go.
There he is. We've got Lewis. A first half plagued by technical issues, but we have got China leading at the moment, 2-1.
Was that Ali AI Kesson or whatever who got the goal? I think he's pushing for top scorer.
Yeah, there's a couple of people involved in this game looking for top goal scorer, but Oakley's on the edge again. He's pulled the shot off. It's blocked by the keeper. Cleared by Mike. Still 2-1 in this third match playoff. We move up the pitch again. The Mike's pushing forward. He's looking to get himself into the top goal scorer category. He's got a couple of players that are up there. Obviously, Human Son from South Korea is also pushing for that, so it's going to be pretty tight for who gets this golden boot. I know Vardy's up there as well, and a couple of the Belgium lads as well, so it's very tight up there. We get a little bit of the game commentary in the background. And now moving forward, they're coming forward. Mike on the edge of the area, and it's blocked behind for another corner. It's going well so far. Oakley's coming forward, looking to attack down this left-hand side, but it has gone out of play through a
like the quality of this team.
South Korea final. South Korea throwing, and Oakley is not happy with his team at all. He's not happy with what's going on. But it is the Mike on the edge. He's looked across the edge. Cut back inside, it's not there. Come back inside again, comes across the left hand side. Cuts back, looking for a man inside, but Oakley's got the tackle, well done. And he does it to come forward now. South Korea need a goal here, preferably from Human Son to get himself up that table of top goal scorers again. Obviously no one here is going to be getting a clean sheet with both teams scoring in the first half, and Mike obviously bagging one in the second half. So their clean sheets are gone, but assists and goals are all to play for still. And it's a shot. Oh, it's the bar from Oakley. So close, so close. He's back on the edge of the area. He's looking to look up. Kim Jin-soo into Lee. Lee looks up. Can he put a finish away? It is into Son. Son's through. Ah, he's just missed. It's just wide. I cannot believe.
This is why I play centre back. I barely play anymore. Like, you know.
He's missed, and Oakley there says why he plays centre back because that miss is absolutely atrocious from that there. And it's a free kick on the edge of the area for South Korea.
This is where Son shows up.
So South Korea are on the edge of the free kick. Can he bend it in?
Shut up, Alex, I'll bottle you, dick.
And it's saved by the keeper. Unlucky.
Sharp.
So the keeper's looking to come away. He's obviously pumped up the pitch, and Mike's got that one covered.
That was
Chases it up.
terrible.
Oakley's coming away. Oakley carries on pushing up the pitch. It's kept down by the Mike. Oakley can't go down that right side. Mike needs to get away to that. It could end in tears for him. They could get back into this. There's still plenty of time. We've got 69 minutes on the clock in this OVFM World Cup third place playoff between China and South Korea. It is China who lead 2-1. 1-1 at half time, and Mike just got his nose ahead. Oakley still pushing for this goal though. One miss and hit strike on the bar. It's close, but not quite in yet. All to play for here still. Lewis, your thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Well, it's a weird game. Like, two awful teams. Well, they've had chances, both of them. It could easily be like 4-4 or something.
Yeah, it's just the quality of the teams has absolutely let these people down. The luck of the draw for these has been. The fact that he's still got this far with these two teams is a testament to how good a FIFA player they are. And it is the Mike out on the left-hand side, cutting it inside, and he's controlling the team well. I was saying before, Lewis, before you jump back in for the second half, these players' names I can't get my tongue around. So I'm just going the Mike's man, the China player, and the South Korea player, because I've not got any.
I deserve to be losing.
I haven't got any attempts here, but Wang Gang, who's the right back, he's chasing him down. It's a great name, and Wang Gang has got the ball and gets rid of it. I've been told I'm not Oriental, which is one of the worst things I've ever heard. I'm very Oriental. I am half Greek, so very Oriental. And we move forward with the ball on the left-hand side with South Korea here. So Mike's pushing out to the left. Can he get that cross in? He's held it up, and Oakley's got the ball, and it is a throw into China on the sideline. Let's cut it in. Can he get the shot off? Cleared by Mike. Well played. Lewis, your predictions for the final? We're obviously 8 minutes left in this game. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. He's through. Can he finish? Saved by the keeper and cleared away. That's got to be a high boot, referee. Got to be a high boot. Let it go, and we play on, coming down the line again for Mike. So yeah, whilst we're trying to cut out in and out this very end-to-end game, Lewis, what are your thoughts on the final? England versus Belgium in about 5 minutes.
It's coming home.
Man,
You think
like,
it's coming
hanging
home?
Chan.
You think a Tom win?
There's
Oh, it's a chance here! Off the post! It's come back out! And the keeper saves again! Chances galore in this game, honestly. It's just been fantastic, really. End-to-end football with these two of the worst teams in international football. And it's through the middle. It's Heung-min Son. Can he make it 2-2 right at the end of the game? He breaks through. It's a save! The chance is a save again! Oh my gosh! What a save by the Mike's keeper. Wow. Wow. So yeah, Lewis, you come in with a 2-1 prediction and the corner comes in, it's cleared away. So Lewis coming with a 2-0 prediction to England. I'm going 3-2 to England. I'm going a high scoring game, but Tom just to bring it home for the England boys in the final against Chris, who's done fantastic well to make it to the final with that Belgian team, which isn't the best in the game. But he's pretty much brand new to OVFM in terms of doing a full season. So yeah, he's done well. And then Mike's coming forward. It's got out. It's come. Oh, I don't think it defends well, but I think this could be it, and it is. China are third in the OVFM World Cup, the first ever OVFM World Cup, and China come third.
Deserved it, Mikey, but if I can't score the best player of the game,
Oakley is very complimentary to Mike there on the comms. Absolutely fantastic game. Oakley, don't get yourself beat down, mate. You've been in that game just as much.
Fucking, at least an Asian team got far.
Mate, 2 Asian teams in the final in the last 4 is absolutely fantastic. Like, you can't. The football and the FIFA ability on the show from YouTube boys and this competition has been absolutely fantastic at this far. So obviously I imagine you can hear me because you've got the stream on yourself as well. But what a fantastic game! Mike's just nicked it there, and you've got very unlucky with Son's finishing. 2 or 3 chances he should have scored, and that could have been Son's golden boot gone. So Lewis, your thoughts on the game overall? Looking at the stats here, it's an interesting reading.
Yeah, well. By the looks of it, South Korea deserve it, but deserve to win. But seeing how end to end it was in like the second half, it was crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's just
could have gone either way.
These 2 teams are just absolutely horrific. Like 2 awful FIFA teams, but the players on show were just fantastic. Like Mike and Oakley are both fantastic FIFA players, so they're going to do very well in their respective leagues this season. But yeah, I mean, well done to the pair of them. But we are going to move on to the World Cup final. I'm going to mute my TV, so I've got the stream on in the background, so I can look at comments. So flip through some comments here. So we've got Big Balls Lewis from Pyro in the chat. Mackie says Oakley's been shafted. JVS is having a great time, saying he should have chipped that last one, which potentially isn't wrong. TK's obviously got himself live as well. So Tom versus Chris in the World Cup final of the OVFM Season 3, our first ever World Cup final. England versus Belgium, what could have been the World Cup final in the World Cup just gone in real life. And my word, could it be any more tense going into this? There's been a lot of chat in the chat today, so this is a big game. Lewis, your thoughts as we head in?
Realistically, Belgium's a better team, but it's FIFA 20. Anyone can win.
Spot on. We have got a very, very good game on the cards here, and it is England who will kind of shoot from left to right in their red and white kit, and Belgium from right to left in their yellow and black. So 2 nice kits that are nice and different to get ourselves going. So there's no restart on that, so we love that.
Oh, he's seriously playing.
I'm gonna just mute Tom there, so we don't have to hear Tom swearing and stuff through the middle. But yeah, so Lewis, your thoughts on the setup here? So obviously TK is just pointing out that he's playing drop back and doesn't look like Tom is, but we'll see where it goes.
I'm just finding the stream now. Oh, there we go, a minute.
Belgium nick forward, but England now can lick the counter. Jamie Vardy, that pace in England attack is absolutely horrible. That when they come forward, they're going to be hard to beat. Sancho, Sterling, and Vardy up there. Rashford, I think, might be on the pitch as well. So it's just an attack of dreams, really. This is an attack that could do well, but in real life, it should do well in this game against the defence of Vertonghen. And I'm not sure who else he's got a centre back, but I can't imagine the Belgian defence is particularly quick.
I think he said Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Monia, and I can't remember.
Yeah, no, it's not the quickest of defences, so this England attack could cut through it like a knife through butter, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. It is England who have come forward now. So Trent Alexander-Arnold has got the ball in the middle of the park. He ball rolls out. Witzel chasing him, ducks the tackle, come back out. It's come as far as Carl Walker, who's down in centre back today. Jordan Henderson in towards Vardy. Now got chasing him down. Sancho loses the ball when it's Vertonghen who sweeps up, clears out up the pitch. So Lewis, we were saying before, as Hazard comes forward here, that there's a couple of teams chasing the golden boot, but Son did have 14 going into tonight, so I think he might just have that wrapped up for the golden boot.
Yeah, by the looks of it, unless
take a lot from here,
Lukaku scores 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot for him to lose it. So Son is going to come away with the World Cup golden boot here, with Wu Li of China coming away with the assist as it stands. A couple of Belgian players not far away. Oh no, De Bruyne is on 9, so it could be close for that one. But it's a chance for England here, and it's blocked. So the assist chart is all to play for, really. Because you got De Bruyne on 9. I believe China might have maybe got himself 2 there, so it could be 9 all coming to this. I'll have to check that. But it is pretty close. Have a look at the golden shin pad chart here. If Croatia lead the way, the most clean sheets. England and Belgium have struggled for clean sheets in this World Cup. That is one thing that people have pointed out. Both teams are struggling to keep clean sheets, Lewis.
Yeah, well, Belgium's defence isn't the quickest. Like, by the looks of it, he's gone with a slow back line.
Yeah, and obviously England's goalkeeper selections aren't the greatest in this game either. Like, they're all quite short or not that great rated. So, I mean, that's probably why. But Lukaku is through here. He chips the keeper. It's 1-0 to Belgium. Lukaku gives Belgium the lead. Oh my gosh. And the crowd goes absolutely wild. Pineapple Pot Pie says to Lukaku, he's not happy with that. Rogue said he's going to have a drink every time a goal goes in. He's going to have a glass of water because he's a responsible drinker. So yeah, England losing here. Belgium 1-0. Tom rattled the back-to-back champion of his domestic leagues, domestic cup and league double for his last 2 seasons as manager. Can he add the World Cup to that list? Let's find out. He is the favourite coming to this game, with just based on FIFA skill alone, but the teams are currently slightly unbalanced towards Belgium's favour, as it is Henderson who comes forward here. Lewis, what thoughts on that opening? Oh, it's a chance. Oh, it's easy for Courtois. So your thoughts on that opening goal, Lewis?
Well, it was just a simple wide ball through. I don't know what the centre backs are doing, not marking it, but
yeah, I mean, they're completely letting Lukaku go through. He's not the quickest of lads, He's a big lad, Lukaku, and his acceleration is not great on this game. So for him to cut through like that with Carl Walker there as well is a bit disappointing from England's perspective, I'd imagine. But it is Lukaku on the edge. He's given it over to De Bruyne. He cuts inside. He shoots. It's a goal. It's 2-0. Kevin De Bruyne has popped it away. And Belgium have done what China and South Korea failed to do on so many occasions and put 2 in early doors in this game. Wow. Wow. It is 2-0 to Belgium. And Chris, one hand on that trophy. You might have got to say now, Lewis.
It's another goal for Belgium, and it's completely over, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, TK's comeback in the cup final last season against Marseille. There was 7 or 8 goals in the first game, and then they had a replay as well. So he needs a little bit of that magic now for England, but he could be struggling from this point forward because Chris is defending that drop back. He's got a 2-0 lead, and he's obviously a handy fifth player to make it this far to the final. You've got to be good at the game. You don't make a final by accident. But yeah, Chris is going to be very happy if this can stay this way, but obviously I don't want to do the commentator's curse, but he is pushing on for what could be a massive win, and England's nearly let go a third there, but Nick Pope swallows that one up. And that is England's problem. They haven't got a goalkeeper that can pull off the save that Thibaut Courtois has. You look at Nick Pope, he's a 77 overall, and Courtois at 89, so I mean it's just a difference in the ability.
I think the best keeper we've got is Jordan Pickford. And he's not very tall, so
yeah, he's
not really much use in goal.
I mean, we look at the stats here at half time. It's 59% possession to England, 2 shots each, but Belgium has made it count, Lewis.
Yeah.
I mean, England have got to do something different in this half because the attacks have not been quick enough. They need to come in a lot quicker. They need to start getting that players in the box. They need to start pushing forward on the defence side. They need to get to a fast kind of movement and just getting them passes going. They need to cut through this defence because the defence is slow in that Belgian team. Like, England can do plenty here against that team.
Yeah.
So England are obviously still the team. They're going for a change-up, Lewis. Your thoughts on their slight tactical changes here?
No, I don't really see what they did, but
He's
It
pushing a
looks
lot of
like
players
they're
forward into the box.
Yeah, it looks like they're going a lot more attacking.
Mm.
And it wouldn't surprise me if they bring on a couple of subs like 60th minute or something.
Yeah, they're gonna need some, aren't they? Because I mean, this game could soon come away from quite quickly. Couple of people in the chat just saying the game's missing Phil Jones. You're not wrong. The game is missing Phil Jones. Rogue says you've got to play a 4-4-2 with an explanatory in the middle there. So yeah, he said 4-4-2 is the way forward in this game. He could be right, to be honest. That's a lot of the way the pros are going now. And England are coming forward to Rashford. What's he going to do here? He cuts back. He sees Sancho on the edge. Puts it back to Rashford. And it's a goal! It's 2-1. England has scored. They're back in it. Early doors from TK. We said he needed to do it, and he smashed it in. I'm going to give a shout out whilst we just have the goal from Rashford there to Keith Aguero. He's a big man at Brighton. My player of the season tip for this season. Keith Aguero, what a player. Remember the name. So yeah, wow. 2-1 in the World Cup final at OVFM. Lewis, your thoughts? We said it had to be an early goal, and it has been.
Yeah, now that's just opened up for a really just end-to-end half now.
I mean,
like, Tom's got to keep attacking.
Yeah, Tom's got to attack.
Chris needs that like third goal.
The next goal is going to just tip this game one way or the other. It is a crazy second half of football we're going to have ahead of us here. 56 minutes on the clock as England come forward with Raheem Sterling. Plays in Jadon Sancho. VAR looks to come through. He sneaks off the defender. Oh, they've cleared it up. They've cleared it up just about. Belgium come away the ball now on this left side. But that was close. We're looking at a game that this last 30 minutes could be some of the best FIFA we've seen in the OVFM for a couple of seasons. Like, this is the stream history. We've had some good games, but we could be in for some hell of some football here.
Yeah.
And it is Rashford. He's coming inside from that ball from Sancho again. He cuts it back. Looks for Sancho. Can he finish? Too much in the box. Too much in the box of England, and they've wasted a golden chance. There was a couple of passes to be in. I've just got a comment from Fletchling. You sound like an alligator, Lewis. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've had that what's it called, comparison plenty of times before.
An alligator? I've never spoke to an alligator before, if I'm honest. But I'll take Fletcher's word for it. 'Cause he's obviously a keen alligator connoisseur, if you like. He must know a lot about alligators to know what they sound like. So fair play. So it's an offside trap for England here. They're going to try and catch Belgium out, but Hazard on that wing, he's just going to keep running and running and running down to that corner. And they can do that all day. And it's 2 or 3 headers from Belgium there as Lukaku holds the ball away from Kyle Walker. But yeah, so Trent Alexander and CDM. Not something I've seen a lot of this year, to be fair, but interesting choice. And Belgium have got the ball and a throw in here. Witsel, look it up. De Bruyne, tackle on the edge by Walker. Great tackle from him. That needed to be made that because otherwise De Bruyne had a chance in the area. And you know, if De Bruyne shoots from the edge, it's going in the net.
Yeah. Sterling. Oh.
You just think that Tom now needs to kind of throw the kitchen sink because FIFA 20 minutes isn't a lot of time.
Yeah.
That could be a foul on the edge for Henderson. Referee's left it.
Oh, I think he needs to do a change as soon as the ball goes out.
Yeah, I think a change could be on the cards quite soon for Tom. It is a free kick to England in their own half.
Yeah, it needs to be sooner than later though.
Yeah, it needs to be soon. But is Wan-Bissaka playing that ball? It is well cut up by Yang Vertonghen, who's done really well to get across to that with the lack of pace that he has against Rashford and Sancho there. It's a great tackle. So yeah, I mean, here comes Hazard. It's dangerous down that left again. It's into the box. It's missed by everyone. Comes through to Chilwell to clear up. But wow, what a chance that was for Belgium to settle it. What a chance that was indeed. But England now have got 30 minutes to try and save the World Cup final here. And it's Sterling who's coming forward. He's got that pace. He's got the ability to do this in the box. He cuts it back to Sancho. He's turned. It's too much in the box again. You've got to say from Tom, it's too much in the box again. Just needs to pull that trigger of them players in that box. They're good enough to score them goals, Lewis. They've got to be.
He could be turning inside there and smashing it near post.
Yeah,
that could be a draw.
Yeah, I mean, it's these chances, these fine chances in the World Cup final. You don't take them, it can slip away from that quickly. But Tom will keep going in, no doubt. He's a good player. We've got 8 minutes left on the ticker here as Jordan Henderson looks to come forward into Sterling, back to Henderson, into Sancho. Tackled. Sterling on the edge. Tackled away again. Another Belgium defensive move that is just last ditch again. It's just another England attack smothered by this Belgian drop back. But yeah, it's just wow. It's a crazy one, really. Can't believe it. You can't even you can't like just break down how many chances that we've seen in the 2 games tonight that just haven't been taken. But it is Wits on the edge. Can he finish it? No. Trent Alexander-Arnold back from DM to make that tackle, and England have got to fly forward now. It's now or never. 88 minutes on the clock. It's Gomez into Jamie Vardy, who turns. Tackle made by Rajan Igolan. It comes back out. Henderson, current player of the year in the Premier League in real life. What can he do here? Looking to come away. Witsel chasing. Witsel misses the tackle. It's into Sancho. Sancho looking up to Trent. Trent looks up. What can he do? Rajan Igolan is straight in there with the tackle. It's 1 minute left in injury time. I think it could be a Belgium one. It could be it. Belgium hoofing it forward. He's won the header. Into the England half. Last attack. It's gone. Belgium are OVFM World Cup winners. Oh my gosh. Wow. That is not gone according to the script, has it, Lewis?
No, that's completely unexpected. But well, England had the chances, but
I mean, that is an absolutely crazy game of FIFA there. I mean, the stream's just gone down. I'm assuming that's TK gone off. But wow, I mean, 2-1. You just like it was just early fire stuff from Lukaku, and then De Bruyne off a Lukaku pass, and then when you thought in that 50th minute when Sancho played it through to Rashford and he stuck it in, you just thought that's got to be it. You thought he's got to come back into that game, but it was too much trickery in the box, too much in and out, too much kind of thinking what to do, and it's cost him really. But yeah, wow, absolutely congratulations to Chris. That is an absolutely amazing bit of football for you there to want to win that one. It's a great bit of FIFA. I'm just going to move the stream header to the top. Just going to hide it for a second actually, or just hide that whilst we chat about the thing I brought up earlier. But yeah, just crazy really. I can't believe Belgium can weigh that. Chris is coming as an absolute underdog, and he's in every game from the quarterfinal through to the semis, through to the final. No one's given Chris a chance in these games, but he's done it, Lewis. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm just surprised. Like, I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, really. When you think about it, it's like no one gave Chris a chance. Me and you said before the game 3-2 to England and 2-1 to England, but it's the other way around. It's the scoreline on the reverse, and you've got to think like Chris could be a real force coming into this season. He's going to have as much chance as anyone to take home some silverware. If that's the football he can pull out against someone who's been back-to-back domestic champions, you've got to think he's got to be someone that you've got to look at for the win of the title now, surely.
Well, what team is it at?
I mean, it's not Sampdoria, but you've seen stranger things happen. Like obviously you got Jolly he's got himself Birmingham. He made a Champions League final, 2nd place in the Premier League last season, and cup winners. So I mean, you can't not look any much further than that. Really, you surely can't be looking at him to not come in the top 4.
I reckon he'll finish in top 4, but I don't think he'll come away with the title because we've got last season's Champions League winner.
I mean, yeah, you have got pineapple pot pie at Juventus. It could be a tall ask, but we saw Birmingham cut it close. They beat you, and obviously when you won the league or the Premier League, you lost the cup to them. You just never know. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy one, really. You've got to put him up in that top 4 this season. I mean, we'll stream some games and commentate over him, like definitely the cup games and stuff we go forward towards the end of the season. But I'd be very surprised if we didn't see Chris towards the back end of some of these competitions this season. I think I might be wrong, but I think he's got a Europa League spot this season as well. So maybe you earmark him as a champion of the Europa League.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Looking at some of the teams in the Europa League.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Europa League could be anyone's game. It's obviously the first season we've ever had Europa League, so you've got to think like it's got to be anyone's game. But yeah, we are going to now have a little look at the 2 announcements. I'm just going to pop in the general chat here on the Discord server that we are going to have the announcements now, just so people can kind of see what we're going to be bringing in for the end of the transfer window here and the next couple of seasons. Looking ahead towards the end of the FIFA titles. Obviously, we've got FIFA 21 coming out soon, so obviously we've got adding a few things, announcing a few things, changing a few things for OVFM in FIFA 21. Lewis, are you excited to kind of talk about, obviously without saying too much, how do you think what we're going to be doing is going to change the landscape of OVFM, if you like?
It'll be like a huge addition. Like, you'll see some of the lower teams get become better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully what we're going to be announcing in the next couple of minutes is going to be it's going to be a huge one, really, because I think it's going to change the landscape of OVFM. It's definitely going to separate us from other online career modes. We're going to see the introduction of some absolutely brilliant FIFA players from the game. We're going to be seeing some of the world's best entering the biggest leagues in Europe. Obviously, the championship teams who could be picking players here. With the budget they've got, some of the championship teams, we could see some absolutely world-class players heading towards the championship for next season. And this season, I think this announcement that we're adding in, and obviously then the free agents the next couple of days and the rest of the transfer window could dramatically affect someone's season. From someone thinking, I'm not going to do anything this season, but one or two of the right moves with what we're going to announce, it's going to change a lot of people's perspectives on this season for sure.
Yeah, these players could change the whole ranking, who finishes where and everything.
Oh yeah, these players could have a big effect. We've seen a lot of these players called OP on Ultimate Team. Obviously, these players were in a lot of places for a long time. At the start of FIFA Football, special cards started ruining the Ultimate Team scene, but these cards were everywhere, and these were the players that you just didn't like to see when you come up against in FUT Champs. You didn't want to play these players. Career mode, they're always there. So it's players that we're going to be looking at here that are going to change leagues, decide games, win titles, survive relegation, get promotion. These players are going to make the difference, really. But we're going to talk about this first one here. So on the screen, I've had it on there for a little while. I had it on there during the first game as well when the stream went down. But we have teamed up with Cardscraft. All the links will be in our Discord later on, guys. But Cardscraft are owned by KG Dillon, one of the OVFM and VFL players. He's started his own special FIFA card printing business. So it's called Cardscraft, and they're mainly on Twitter at the moment and Instagram. That's the best way to see their store, really. And for a limited time, if you use code OVFM, you'll get 21% off any orders. Your whole order, you can order up to 10, 15, 20 cards. If you use that code OVFM, you will get 21% off, and you will be able to get your own OVFM official FIFA card. This is the only website you can get the OVFM card made. So if you want your manager card, it'll be up there for a couple of days. You're actually buzzing a little bit there, lad. Just gonna, yeah, there we go, sorted. So yeah, for a limited time only, OVFM will get you 21% off. The only website on the internet where you can get yourself an OVFM card. I know I'll be getting myself one of these for sure in the next few days. Because yeah, it's gonna look cool. I've got a if I just put up my Twitter here, I'll be able to show you guys what a OVFM FIFA card would look like with all your kind of details on, guys. So let's load up my Twitter here, head into the DMs, and this is Dylan. This is the guy who's doing everything for us. Obviously, here's our announcement stuff, and yeah, so an OVFM card is going to look. So we're working on a couple of different concepts, but an OVFM card is going to look a little bit like this on the screen here, guys. So that is your OVFM card. So if you wanted to bag yourself one, that is what it's going to look like. So obviously that's my card. So you put your team in there, your nationality, your stats. You can have OVFM on there. You can have manager of the season, where the 99 striker is. Obviously you can put what you want wherever you want. Obviously I'm not a 99 striker. I don't think I've ever played striker in my life. I'm certainly not a striker in pro clubs, but obviously this is an example card. You can have any name, any stats, any information you want on this card. Dylan will be able to sort you out. Obviously I've got MK Lonzo, they're the club that I support, and my kind of Bitmoji friend. I was an admin over on VFL. So yeah, that's closest kind of Bitmoji representation to my face, if you like. But these cards are only about £10.99, £12, I think. So yeah, if you head over to his store, the link's on his Cardscraft Twitter. You guys will be able to pick yourselves up a OVFM custom card. I'd love to see some of them posted on Twitter and stuff as well. And every purchase you make, guys, really helps the website. We've got a link up with Cardscraft, so certain sales will help out the OVFM site, pay for site fees, paid competitions, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And these things all come in thanks to partnerships that we've got with Cardscraft. And I've got one more partnership to announce in about 2 or 3 days' time, when they've got some more information on the FIFA release date. And so when they're allowed to start selling stuff on their website, we'll have some more link ups and some more ways for you guys to get money off on FIFA and other games as well, whilst helping out the site. So yeah, more information on that in the next couple of days, guys. We'll probably do another stream on it. Start of the season, we'll probably stream a couple of games. So yeah, me and Lewis will be back to chat about that in a few days' time, I imagine. Right, Lewis.
Yeah.
I think it might be time to talk about what our big announcement is. So me and Lewis have been working on this pretty much all day in terms of filling out the last few bits. And I've been working on this concept originally with Sinister, who used to be one of the head admins on OVFM Season 1. For those who have been there from the start, you guys remember Sinister. So yeah, this is kind of a concept we've worked on for a little while. I've been working on it kind of for a couple of days here and there over the last couple of months to make sure the system's perfect and kind of offers what I wanted to offer without it being too kind of silly and too kind of bank breaking. But we're gonna try it for this season, and we'll see how it goes for the implementation in future seasons. Obviously, the free agent system changed a little bit as we've gone. That's going to see a slight change for the next FIFA season, for the next OVFM season. Sorry, on the next FIFA. But yeah, so we've got a couple of things to talk about. I'm going to talk about a couple of things like the OVFM MLS that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago in the streams and in the Discords. Got some more information on that for you guys as well. So yeah, going to pull it up here. So the OVFM scouting system, guys. Okay, so everything is up on the screen here. Yeah, it's kind of going to be an interesting one, really. So bring Lewis back into the stream. So I've shut him down. I wonder why we lost him. Apologies about this, guys. So I will just grab Lewis back in the stream because I have to literally cut him straight off there. But I'll bring him back in. There we go. So yeah, we've got ourselves back. Lewis is back. Sorry, Lewis, I completely shut down Skype there. I just cut you off. Just asking for your opinion. Not there. I was like, Lewis. He's gone, but he's back. So we have got Lewis back. Okay, so scouting system, guys. Yeah, Kayla, I use Bing. It's all about the Microsoft rewards, my friend. All about Microsoft rewards. Get every search, get your rewards, money off FIFA. We love it. I live for it. So yeah, the rules of the scouting system are as follows. You will get one purchase per window. Some of these bits on here are changed a little bit. I need to try and change some of these bits as well. But like I said, guys, this isn't kind of the set rules. I'll be open to thoughts and feelings on this. But at the moment, this is how the rules are going to go. So you will get one purchase of a scout per transfer window. So you've got the pre-season window, which we're in now, and the mid-season window, which is later on in the season. It's an optional system. You don't have to join the scouting system because it is a bit of a gamble on your budget, but you can if you want to. The prices of the following that are down below will fluctuate. Obviously, the better players that get drawn out of the system, the money will go down because you don't want to be paying 45 million for a load of crap players. But if the poorer players get pulled out, then we will start to look at increasing the prices. Obviously, if you've only got good players to pull out, you need to be paying more because it's a guaranteed good player that you guys will get. The SPL obviously started there. Little hint that the SPL might be coming back and making an appearance very soon. So SPL and Championship will follow the same bracket because they've been lower tier and like lower quality leagues. Just the way it is. Sorry to the Scottish followers. But yeah, so higher tier scouting network is what most people will be looking at for our English Premier League, the Serie A, the Bundesliga, and League One. So you guys will be looking at this one here. Okay, so the example of the pot is as follows. So if you were to pay 45 million, you will get a level 3 scouting network. You get to choose from any of the pots below. So you've got different colour pots for different leagues. A gaffer gets to choose if they get a level 3, as we saw on the left here. So if a gaffer picks level 1, they get 2 completely random pots, no minimum rating, so you can get a really poor player, or up to 80 rated, so you could get a cheap beast and OP one for just 15 million, guys. So 15 million, take a chance of getting an 80 rated that you can sell on for quite the profit on a release clause. Not a bad move. 30 million, you can choose one pot yourself, and the other one's randomised, a maximum of 82, so we're starting to hit towards some of the more serious players now. But these ones we will see less 82 players, more around the 80 mark, purely because of the players that will go into the pot. You'll be looking at probably a good chance of getting somewhere between a 79 and 81. An 82 will be quite rare out of these. It kind of works a little bit like the foot pack system, but a little bit more fair. You're not going to get shafted. There's no real money involved. Obviously, pot 3, you get to choose both pots you want. So I think that's a really important part. Me and Luke talked about this the other day. You can either, if you choose your 2 pots, you can choose very carefully the pots you want that have got the better players in. So if I was looking at the pots here that are down here, are automatically drawn to the Chinese Super League because you look at the players here that are all over 80. I mean, these are all slotted even into my Real Madrid team. Obviously, me and Lewis have been talking about this. There's a few players we've seen on here. We thought, oh yeah, I'd quite like that. I mean, get Paulinho for just 45 million of a choice of pot. You can't argue with that, can you, Lewis?
Nah, it'd be worth like a lot more. People might even release them.
That's what I mean. So I mean, these players are worth ridiculous money. Some of the ones in here, the leagues as will be. I'll come across them in a second. So yeah, the pot. To move the pro league. The pots kind of will work like that. As I said, so you get to choose your pots if you've chosen certain certain networks. You get a pick. There'll be one player from each pot. So if you've got I don't know, the Super League and the MLS, you get given one player from each pot. You don't find out who the player is. All you get told is their position. No, not even that. Sorry, just the overall rating of the player and the league. So I will say to you, right, Corey, for instance, because I've seen you in the chat, you've got an 81 rated player from the MLS and an 82 rated player from the Chinese Super League. You've then got to make the snap decision on the spot which league you want. If you take one player, then one player is chosen, the other one heads to the free agent list. So that becomes a free agent for the next window, and anyone in the OVFM can pick that player up in the same way that free agents work now. If neither player is chosen, both head back to the pot, and the manager gets 30% of their money paid back. So obviously, if you think you get, if I said to you, you pay for a really expensive pot, so you pay for pot 3, you spent 45 million on the pleasure, and I give you a 78 rated player from the MLS and a 78 rated player from the Pro League, you're obviously probably not going to take that, just for the chance they're going to be a pretty bad player, and you do get 30% of your money back, so that will be 13.5 million you'll get back from the 45. Obviously not a lot, but it takes away some of the risk, guys, okay? So yeah, and they're kind of going to be all in there, guys, so we're going to look through the pots quickly. Lewis, have you finished all of them today, or are we still working on some?
Working on some. They'll be finished by tonight.
Okay, so me and Lewis will be working pretty much all night, guys, to kind of get these pots filled out for you. But the maximum kind of player you're looking at is around 85, I think. The lowest rated player you'll be pulling out of these pots is around 70 overall as well, guys, depending on what pots you choose. So we're going to take just a little look at the Pro League here. So obviously you can see Vincent Kompany, Simon Mignolet, Liverpool legend, is in there. There's a few very good kind of players that you want to pick up if you wanted a OP cheap beast. There's a few in there. I'm not going to name names, but people will know who's in here, who they like. So the Pro League's in there. So that's the Belgian Pro League. The Liga NOS, loads of people are going to be happy to see this. I mean, look at the players in that top kind of 10 of the Liga NOS, Lewis. You've got to say there's some absolutely world-class FIFA players in that top 10.
Yeah. Well, there's Tellez, arguably one of the best left backs on the whole game. Pizzi.
Yeah, Acuna, Pepe, Piera,
Pizzi playing
Corona,
centre mid.
Rafa. I mean, mate, there's so many cracking players in these pots that you can choose from. I know some people are saying in the comments they're a little bit confused, but I will explain this more in kind of a detailed breakdown in the thing tonight. This will open probably over the weekend, guys, if not just after. So these players will be kind of involved from week 2. But I will kind of get this in as soon as it's finished, because we're kind of pushing the timescale to get everything we want to get done for the season, because obviously everyone wants to get the season started next week. So kind of pre-season tournaments aren't looking too likely. If people want to put the season back a week, we can. It'll make it a little bit easier for us. Yeah, so basically kind of looking forward, if we want to get this in before the season starts, we're probably looking at a week pushback, so we can get pre-season tournaments. And I will be able to obviously give out paid rewards. So the winner of the pre-season tournament might get like 50, 60, 70 million to help them out with the pot. So we'll see. Chinese Super League pot is obviously there as well. Some cracking players in there: Paulinho, Oscar, Anavic, Hamsik, Talisha, Miranda, Bakambu, Augusto, Zahavi, El Sharawi, Hulk, Dembele, Eder, Teixeira, I say, Carvalho, Boateng, Wagner. I mean, Fellaini's in there. Fernandinho is in there. So I mean, there's players galore in here, aren't there? And this is just the first 3 pots, like. We'll have a look across here. So yeah, the Brazilian League, again, you've got a few more here. This man at the top, if anyone gets this man at the top, they are very, very, very lucky. Ronaldo, Cabaret, I think you say it. He is absolutely ridiculous on this game.
And I was looking at that centre back earlier, and he's got like 80 plus pace.
What, this one here?
No, the second one down, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's some players on there that are just ridiculous in the Brazilian League. So yeah, then you've got the SAF as well. So you've got Nunes in there, Racing Club. I think Tevez features here. Yeah, Carlos Tevez, there he is, 78 pounds.
Salvio.
So yeah, Salvio. I mean, there's players that if you get here, like some of them aren't great, but some of them are just fantastic players that you can get for literally nothing at all. The Mexican League, you got Gignac in there, Guzman, Funes Mori. Again, not a great in terms of his pace, but his physicals are just insane for a player. In a kind of online friendly scenario. Looking at the MLS here, I mean Carlos Vela straight away, first name on the list. You think I want that?
No, that Joseph Martinez.
Yeah,
He's a quality player.
I mean, there's just some fantastic players on there. I mean, Nani's on there.
Five star.
Yeah, Hernandez, Pavon. I mean, there's some ridiculous players, and there's still more players to be added as well. So you've got Victor Wanyama down there. We're looking down the bottom. Bradley Wright Phillips is in here. So there's still more players to be added as well. This isn't the full list yet, guys. There's still more players to be added to this system. Moving on to the Saudi League. Obviously, you've got some good players in the Saudi League, like El Nasser and El Halal. I think that's how you say it. They're players. There's some ridiculous players in there. Fast, quick, nimble, agility's high. 5-star, 4 stars, 4-star, 4 stars. Like, we're talking some good players in this one, Lewis.
Yeah, these players in the Saudi League are more like championship level. That will be the deciding factor in getting promoted.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a couple of these in like a Man City team, I mean, Corey could run away with the league with these additions, like that sort of thing. Or someone like a West Ham was struggling towards the bottom of the league last season. If like they could pick a few of these up, or Wigan, or kind of Millwall, these players can pick some of these players up. It's a difference maker. We're looking forward as well now to the Japan League, and my man Andreas Iniesta will have the potential to enter the OVFM Season 3, and I am gassed about the potential of having Iniesta in the OVFM. I mean, that man is like one of the kind of gifts that football's given us. So yeah, look out for grabbing yourselves an Iniesta going forward. I think we've got a couple more leagues. We've got the K League. Not as many good players in here. A few that made that Korean team that made the last 4 of the World Cup though. So make of that what you will, of how good these players are really in terms of their pace, their agility, and their passing, especially. And rest of the world, people have been saying to me, Alex, will we ever see the rest of the world players in because they're never going to be in OVFM? The answer is yes. Here they are, the best of the best in the rest of the world system. Lewis, any names in here?
Tyson.
I mean, it's the first name on there, Tyson.
He's got like 90-something pace. The guy's incredible.
I mean, yeah, we're looking forward to some players in here that, I mean, if they come through like Igor Akinfeev, what's a goalkeeper on FIFA in this level? Like, you can pick him up as a mid-table Prem team or a Champ team, and he's just unstoppable. He's like a Fabianski on roids. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, mate. There's some players in here that are just gonna. I mean, Ed is in there as well. There's some crazy players in this system that are gonna completely change the kind of outlay of OVFM, if you like. And obviously, this is how everything's going to go at the top, guys. So yeah, it says 2 purchases per season up there. I will allow people to put their 2 purchases into this window or next window. So obviously, think about mid-season players can get release clause. Do you want to spend your money this early and lose out on these players? I mean, there's choices to be made. But more information on this will be going out, and it will be like a first come first serve. So I'll open up a kind of free agent bot sort of thing. People in there who put their bids in, they'll go into the pot literally in order of what it comes through, and there'll be no bias. But yeah, there'll be no admin picks early doors, and this is just gonna be straightforward as it is. But yeah, I'll have a couple of streams, so maybe I'll with the kind of first 5 or 6 that come in, I'll whack a stream up, and we'll see who gets who, just so you guys can kind of see how it works and decide if you want to put your money in. I'm going to put in 45 million myself in as Real Madrid, so we can see what player I'll pull out. But yeah. The one benefit of this, guys, for those who are still staying in the stream, you guys are going to know this when the guys who have left the stream early aren't going to know what this bit is. So, players from the scouting network will only have to pay half of their wage for the first half of the season that you have them. So, if you scouted an 85 player, you're normally looking at about a £100,000 wage hit to your budget. If you scouted one in the network, you'd only have to pay 50k on his wages until mid-season when it goes back up to his full complement, and then obviously you can kind of decide whether you keep him or sell him on for profit, which obviously if you get someone like Paulinho, you're looking at probably like a 200 million easily because he's just ridiculous at CDM. So yeah, you only pay half their wages. Lewis, do you think that's a big kind of help for teams that are kind of like, so the ones that are kind of So the big teams are going to want players from this. That's going to help them, but the smaller teams could really stock up on some players here.
Yeah. Well, this is only like half a season. Like, championship teams can get decent players from this, and they can they only have like the wages for half a season being paid. While they can sell them like halfway through the season and make a lot of money on them.
Yeah, I mean, if you pay like, I don't know, the second as the championship. So we're looking at the championship players here in the rules. They can pay 30 million. They're max rated 83. So if you pay 30 million and you pick up an 83 rated of, let's just pull up a random one here. You pull up Hamsik. I mean, he could go for some serious money, couldn't he, to a Premier League team?
Yeah.
So you're paying 30 million for a player, and you could sell him for his release clause is something ridiculous, like 103 million, 105 million. So I mean, you can kind of, So yeah, it's kind of Chan has pointed out the gamble on the packs is going to be kind of harder to reach for some of the small teams, but for only like 30 million isn't a lot in OVFM. Most of the teams last season in the French league finished with 30 million. Most of the teams in both the new leagues started with at least 20, around the 20 mark. So I mean, it's only one sale. Obviously, I know I've introduced it late, but that's because I didn't want everyone saving their money and just killing the window this time around for the new teams. But this will be kind of introduced, and there is a potential, that we might be allowing this kind of system and the free agent system to be opened up at the end of every game week, providing everyone has finished their games. So obviously, if the window's open and you finish your games, you'll be able to potentially apply for a player from this. And they can't be registered until the next game week though. So obviously we're going to look at potentially doing that. If people want to sign free agents during the season, which in real life obviously you can do. So me and Lewis are going to be looking into this over the next couple of days and kind of discussing going forwards about how the free agent system is going to work from here on really. Lewis, your thoughts on this then? Let's tell, as a manager of a big team like Barcelona, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'll definitely be investing the 45 million. And I'll try to be getting, like, the higher end players, like the Paulinho, the Tyson, he'd do well on my team, Marlos, like, just good players that would actually fit into my team. But even if I get, like, a lower rated player, I'll be able to sell them.
Exactly,
And,
I mean,
hopefully for profit.
I mean, it's a chance for teams to be making money, just ridiculous amounts, just from nothing really. So like, yeah, I mean, Lewis, how about you give us like a top 5? If you were like kind of a manager looking through the scouting list, because I will open this list up to everyone. Give us a top 5 kind of tips, if you like, going forward. Because obviously you've had a little child to look through here. What would you be saying if you were a manager and you just bought each pot? So if you were at the pots, have a little think about who you'd want, what you kind of think about doing.
What do you mean, like the pots I choose?
Yeah, so like if you're a manager of say a championship club, a big club like Madrid, maybe a middle class team like Cagliari, talk us through like the options as a manager. Because obviously from my side, obviously I've thought about this time and time again because I've been looking at it so many times. But as a manager who's not seen this till today, what are your thoughts?
Well, if I was to be like a championship team looking at this, I would more than likely try to pay the 30 million, and then because anyone there, well, most players there will get into your starting 11 and will improve your team. And there's some insanely good cheap beasts, and even if it's not someone good enough for your team, then you'll be able to sell him. Like, there'll be a club that wants him, like, and you'll be able to make profit more than likely.
Yeah, I mean exactly.
And then
yeah, it's crazy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then say like a middle tier club, I would say either spend the 45 or the 30, or maybe even the 15, because 15 million's not a lot, and there's a lot of good players for under 80 rated.
Yeah,
and
I mean it's the options on show here are ridiculous, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a quality idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously the richest teams, obviously they're going to be able to like kind of get a bit of money, like kind of stuff here. But the players in and around, like, so people that are saying like in the comments here that smaller teams are going to struggle with the money and stuff, but it's going to now make teams. So big teams are going to want to sell their big players for big money to get two kind of goes at the network, if you know what I mean. Like, so like if obviously you got 45 million, I sell Casemiro for 90 million, I get 2 shots at getting someone like Pizzi or a Carlos Vela. So people are saying people are going to struggle, but this is going to open the transfer market for the lower teams to pick up some players that are now going to be thought, I can get better, and people are going to take the risk. The difference between, so I've got a comment in from Chan, the difference between the two scouting systems is that it's cheaper. So the teams in the Championship will get things cheaper, purely because they've got less money and harder to sell their players on. But they're still going to have to pay 30 million for a high-rated player, because the Championship, I don't want loads of 83 players dotted around the Championship. Like, it's nobody's business, because in real life there's not that many 83 players in the Championship. But it is cheaper, and obviously they've got kind of the same benefits from each tier. So obviously tier 1 they get to pick, tier 2 they get to pick, tier 3 they get to pick both pots. Obviously it's 15 million cheaper than the Premier League one, and obviously they can't pick an 85 out. Obviously, like, there's no limit on the ones in the higher tier 1 for tier 3, but there's obviously a maximum 83. So yeah, I will run a pick soon, guys. I haven't got all the stuff set up for the picks yet, so I can't actually run any. I would show an example one, but yeah, we haven't got all the pots finished yet. So when I have, I will get a stream up and we'll get 4 or 5 different managers in to see kind of who gets what, really. It'd be quite interesting to kind of see a few different managers, different levels, Lewis. If we can get a few in, like a Championship manager, maybe a lower tier, kind of maybe like a, I don't know, like a Man City who's down there, an Arsenal who's down there, or maybe like a West Brom who's coming up to the Prem, something like that, and then obviously a couple of big teams as well.
Yeah. And then, like, just your average, like, mid-table, higher-tier teams.
Yeah, like a Cagliari or like a Florentina or someone like that. We can kind of look around at Palace, like, yeah, good shout from Chan there, so you saw Chan there. So it's them sort of teams we can kind of pull into the stream next time, and we'll get a few of these ones out. We can do a couple of test ones, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Lewis, just what a night really for everything. There's so much kind of to kind of go over. If you just want to give us a summary, so anyone that's kind of missed this, I'll kind of clip this and put it in the Discord. Yeah, give me a breakdown.
There's a lot to say. Well,
give us the 5 highlights.
That double save from the China keeper against Korea, where losing 2-1, and it was 80 plus. No, it was like 83rd minute or something. And Son was through, I think it was. And the Chinese keeper made 2 insanely good saves to keep it at 2-1 and make China finish 3rd.
I mean, that game was crazy, really, wasn't it? I mean, like, obviously 2-1 to South Korea in the end against against South Korea, might have taken home 3rd place. But Oakley was so unlucky. I mean, how many chances did Son miss in that game?
No, I know. That one where it was like through on goal and he hit wide.
So that was 5th place. What's your 4th best highlight from tonight?
I would say Belgium scoring like those 2 early goals.
Yeah, I mean that was a difference maker in the World Cup final, wasn't it?
Yeah, if they didn't get those 2 early goals, like, it would have been like everyone's game still. But those 2 early goals kind of made it so Belgium were more than likely winning it.
Yeah, I mean, it changed everything, really, didn't it? I mean, it changed the whole World Cup. As soon as they had 2 goals before in, like, the attitude went from England's an easy win to, wow, Belgium could have won this, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, point 3, 3rd best highlight of this. There's obviously everything kind of introduced that we've got tonight.
I don't even know what I can pick next, because, like, I've got loads of things, but I don't know where they'd come. Like, the scouting network being number 1, more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be it. I mean, number 2, you probably don't look like. I mean, the foot card's pretty exciting for the site, because I mean, the help that's going to give the site for the finance side is like it's going to help the site fees, because obviously people have been saying, oh, we want a proper site like BFLs, and these things obviously cost money. And it's like when we've got them things, we can make League Republic better. We can offer paid tournaments and stuff like that for you guys to enter, so paid winnings and stuff. But yeah, obviously that's my number 2. Number 3, if you had to pick a middle ground of the 4 things there.
I'd probably say something from the China game again. Like, that game was incredible.
But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of kind of crazy ones, really, aren't they? Like all night, it's kind of just mental, weren't it?
Yeah, it's just so end to end, like both games as well.
Right, we are going to get Corey, who's the manager of Man City in the Championship, into the stream. Go have a little chat with him, see what his thoughts are, because he's an experienced OCM player. When we tried our beta, looking about 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, we tried this beta of this. Corey was one of the managers who kind of took part in that and kind of had a good time and helped us kind of run what OVFM was in its infancy way back when, before like most of you guys that are in the OVFM now. I don't think there's any players in the OVFM then that are in it now, maybe one or two, but I think Corey obviously wouldn't have stuck around. Been a chairman, been an admin, kind of done a lot around the site. So we're going to get him in now. I'm going to the call in now. I'm going to get him to the call, get him to have a little chat with myself and Lewis and see what his thoughts are. And hopefully he'll be able to echo some of your guys' kind of thoughts and feelings about the systems and things that we're seeing tonight. So I'm going to add him to the call. Hopefully we kind of jump in nice and quick and we'll get his thoughts. We're not going to spend too much longer on the stream, guys. I think that's Corey in now.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, evening, Corey. How are you doing, my friend?
Not bad yourself.
Yes, not bad. So, your thoughts on the scouting system and the World Cup, in whichever order you want to do it in.
Do the scouting one first. Looks a very good idea. I'm going to be doing a tier 3 one since I'm City and I've got oil money.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like the kind of pick of the bunch, really, if you like. As a championship manager, you could end up coming away with a fair few decent players there.
Yeah, hopefully, like, I'll have to get rid of someone. Hopefully, don't really know if I don't want a high rated person because of my wage, but someone who's just good would be nice.
So, as a championship manager, is there a name, a player that you're kind of looking at? So, if you had to go, oh, kind of, I'd like that person. Is there any players that you kind of earmarked early doors?
So I wouldn't mind Texiera from the Chinese one.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's.
What rating's he? He's
79, isn't he?
Yeah, 79. Yeah. You're looking at like a 40-50k wage. Obviously, half of that's 25. I mean, that's nothing, is it, for a championship team? Like, you've got 800k. You could fit like a fair few of them sort of players in, really.
Exactly, and it's like 91 pace, very quick. He'll do nicely.
Yeah, I mean, there's players like that all over. Like I said, Graziano Pele, people like Frank Achipong. Obviously, everyone's seen him in fitting Ultimate Team this year. At the start of the year, he's ridiculous. Like 95 pace. That's a player that if you pull out a 77 rated, you're paying like 20k a week for him. It's a joke. But obviously, at the same in the spectrum, you could easily come away with, I don't know, like Haaland, whoever the hell that is, and 72 striker who would do nothing even in the championship. So, how are you going to balance your risk versus reward strategy of the tier 3 core?
Take the risk. I'm not really bothered about reward. It's a new thing onto OVFM, so it's just been interesting to see who I get. Like, if I get someone who's not as great, then so be it, really.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you don't pick our player, it goes back into the pot. But if you do pick one and everyone goes into free agency, are you the sort of manager that would think, oh, I want to get that player in free agency for everyone else, or are you going to take the 30% back?
I feel like I might just take one and like I could potentially just keep them, sell them mid-window if needed be, or if not, I probably would just put them back in the pot and take the 30% back.
Yeah, I mean,
so
especially carry on. I'll cut you off there. Carry on.
No, so I wouldn't really want to, especially if it's because, especially in the championship. Obviously, not many teams are going to have big players. Nobody's going to really have. Like, my team's basically sorted now. So, even if I got someone quite decent that wouldn't fit in my team at all, I wouldn't go chuck him on the free agency list because, for all I know, a championship player could get them, put him in the team, and that could bite me back in the arse later on in the season.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think I'll just take the 30% back, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a bad kind of thought process to have, really, because I was kind of saying to Lewis earlier, like, are enough people going to want to do it? Kind of hearing your kind of thoughts as a championship manager, it's kind of it's you guys are going to benefit from this more in the Premier League and the higher tier teams, if you like. So yeah, kind of it's good to get your perspective on it. If you go up to the Premier League, how are you looking to utilise this system to kind of rebuild Man City, if you like?
Well, with higher tier, especially with tier 3, if you could literally get anybody, so you could end up with like someone really, really decent.
Yeah, for literally nothing. Like this system is hard. Obviously, the players aren't going to fall off the shelf. Like the free agency list, when the player's gone, they're gone. Whereas here, them players could stay untouched for 2, 3, 4 seasons.
Exactly. Like, you could realistically get... Because there's quite a lot of, like, Paulinho. Whoever gets Paulinho, I would be buzzing over that.
Yeah, I mean, he's worth in excess of 150 million in the OVFM market.
Exactly. I should even say he's literally the most all-rounded player. I love him. I use his normal card on Ultimate Team nearly all year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a cracking player.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the reason we want to bring these players in, because there's players in there that are OP as hell. And obviously now people are going to be trying to sell their players left, right and centre to kind of try and afford the scouting system when it does eventually come in. Kind of moved on to the World Cup, Corey. What are your thoughts? Because obviously I know you were quite vocal about your predictions to kind of people that we kind of knew around us during the World Cup. So what are your thoughts kind of heading in, and then obviously coming out of the World Cup, what are your thoughts on who's won each game and kind of who's moved around and done what?
Without getting salty, I'm quite angry that Belgium won, because I lost to Belgium in the, well, what is it, the golden game or whatever, when you have to play again.
Yeah.
Like, when I was 2-1 up against him, not going to lie, obviously he wouldn't agree, but on stats I was dominating. We went into the second game and I had issues with like lag, and like it's no excuse, and he literally just deserved the win. But I am shocked he went on and won it though, because like without being obviously he's gone all the way, he's won it, but he weren't that really good against me. I don't know if he just had a bad game or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's come up against one of the best players in OVFM. I mean, Tom has won like 4 trophies in 2 seasons. For a player kind of unknown, if you like, to come in, it's kind of a bit of a shock, really. Like, you've got to think, like, as someone that's played FIFA for, like, we've all played FIFA for like years now. Like, that's against the run of the script, and FIFA normally does follow the script, especially in this year, let's face it.
Yeah, but it's like, obviously it came down to who you got. Like Mike, obviously we know Mike for a very long time, very, very good player. And to get to the semis with China, you could easily say if he had a better team, he would have won the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you put a Mike in a Belgium, or maybe Pineapple Pot Pie in a Belgium, or maybe even giving Tom a better kind of defence that you got at England. I mean, there's a lot of if buts and maybes. It's the luck of the draw that in OVFM you kind of get, where you don't get in other OCMs where you kind of, it is the luck. Like, you might get a shit team, but it's all about kind of doing what you can with that and kind of taking the best of a bad situation and kind of driving on with it, really.
Yeah, but it's like I kept an eye quite a bit on it, and like some of the scores you would like, all right, cranky, how's that one happened? But then fair play to obviously Chris, he went on and won the whole thing. Like, congratulations to him. But it'll be interesting now, because I'm pretty sure he's got Sampdoria, if I'm correct, in Syria. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to now see how he goes on now in the actual league. Like, he's going to have a lot of eyes watching him now.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like, he's going to be one to watch. And I was saying, like, he's got to be up there now, isn't he?
Exactly, like, he's one of the World Cup. Like, so do people expect big things? Because now he's with obviously one of the weaker sides in the Syria. It'll be interesting to see how he performs with them.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've got Birmingham, and teams like Birmingham. We had Norwich in the first season up in the Champions League. We've got Birmingham, obviously, Champions League finalists. Kind of, how do you feel like, what is the gap between the better players with bad teams and the worst players with good teams? Do you think there's a gap? Do you think that OVFM closes it with the market, obviously the wage budget, the transfer budgets, kind of the free agent system? Is it, as someone who, you come into the league as a fresh player, who's never seen OVFM before, what's kind of your breakdown? Is if I was if you come in and I go, oh, you're going to be Nims or Nance or Wigan, someone like that, what would be your reaction to that, knowing what you know about OVFM?
It's like, I wouldn't, like, for people who are new, like, obviously it all comes down to their own ability. So say if you did end up with a Nims, like, don't be nervous. Like, especially if you get it, let's say, start of the transfer window. Like, you've got the whole window, you can, because like your low-rated players, if you've got someone with pace, you're making a lot of money. Like, people just seem to love pace on OVFM.
Yeah.
So I've had some very weird bids. Like, obviously you bidded for Fraser and my guy. I personally, in my opinion, on the game, he is awful. But with 89 pace to his name, someone who can use pace to their advantage, obviously you're going to pay a bit of money. But like, if you get a low-rated team, don't be nervous. Like, obviously, especially if you're confident in your own ability. Like, if you've got faith in your own ability, you can easily, like, obviously, like you say, with Birmingham, obviously that was Jolly, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, he gets all the way with Birmingham. Like, obviously, I'm not actually sure what changes he made within the team, but I can't expect it to be that great. So just play your game, like, especially if it's your first season, and obviously see how you get on, enjoy it. First and most, enjoy it. Like, that's what we're here. Like, obviously, that's what we bring it in for. Like, obviously, I could say I'm an OG of the OVFM side, like career things. So it's like, first and most of all, enjoy it and go from there.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not here to be treated like it's some sort of weekendly kind of replacement, if you like. It's here for people to enjoy and to kind of have a manager experience that you don't get anywhere else unless it's career mode. And then obviously that's against the AI. There's only so much you can do in career mode. And this is all about kind of people trying to just enjoy their FIFA and not take it too seriously, if you like. So that's
like, don't
what we're about, really.
Don't bring your ego with you, because at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun. We're all here to enjoy. Because that's going to put people off. Like, if you play a guy, let's just say, for example, you lose 4-5-0, and they start like, oh, you're crap, you're this, you're that. You're just going to put people off wanting to play. Like,
Yeah,
come,
exactly.
take the win, sportsmanship within the game, and then move on. Like, have fun. Literally, that's all I can. It's what it's here for.
I mean, I've just put up the Birmingham City team on the stream now. So he's obviously you can see his budgets and his ins and outs over this window. And you can see he's got himself there an FA Cup in season 1. He's got himself a playoff, the Championship playoffs trophy there. He's got a Community Shield from season 2, the FA Cup again in season 2, so back-to-back FA Cups. And his wage budget is $500,000. I mean, when you look at some of the teams around him in the Premier League, so we go over to Chelsea, they're rocking a wage budget of 1.2. Liverpool are rocking a wage budget of 1.8 million, and Birmingham have come to the Champions League final last season, come second place in the Prem, and won an FA Cup on $500,000 budget, and that kind of just emphasises your point of it's all about ability, Corey. Like you're saying, that it's not just about the team. Like there's players that will have better teams this year who come in the relegation zone. I mean, you've got Man City, and you pick them up in the Championship. Obviously, you didn't get them relegated, but Arsenal are in the Championship, City are in the Championship. I can't imagine I'm going to put up too many trees with Real Madrid. Like there's good players with good teams, and there's some good players with shit teams, and like the other way around, there's some really bad managers with bad people players like myself who've got good teams like Madrid. Like it opens it up a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, have confidence in yourself. Like you say, I'm obviously now the manager of City. First, I look at my team, and because they got relegated, I know Geordie were there last season, just missed out on getting up, and it's like he had to get rid of the entire team because of the wage budget. Like I took over, looked at this team, and I'm like, there's not a single City player here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just putting up on the screen here, and there's not a single Manchester City player, or even in real life, you probably wouldn't say there's anyone in that team who's even Man City worthy. You might even say.
Exactly. It's like I brought in a few. Obviously, as you can see, I brought in a few players. I've got rid of a few players, but like when I got took over, I thought, right, surely I'll have someone decent in there. I had Di Maria. I'm not a big fan of Di Maria, so obviously we sold him to Bayern, and I brought in Dybala for a very hefty price. But
yeah, I mean, it's what you got to pay for the better players than OVFM. Yeah. There's only one of every player, isn't there?
Yeah, but the thing is, if people, like, obviously our mates and that, people know who I've used Dybala, I am very good with him. So,
yeah, I mean, it could be days like, I'm expecting to see like 30, 40 goals plus from Dybala this season. I'll be a bit disappointed if we don't see that. So the pressure's on straight away from you there.
Oh, cheers. Yeah, I'm just hoping for promotion. You know, that could be first, second. If I have to go through the play, I am going to like go for the title, obviously. And then hopefully we have a good cup run alongside him. Well, you never know. Try and ruin Jolly's back-to-back FA Cups.
Yeah, I mean, Jolly said to me earlier in the week he wants to get himself a Premier League title, and he's obviously wanting these back-to-back FA Cups. It's not been done in real life for a long time, a triple FA Cup, and he wants to make kind of history, if you'd like, if you compare to OVFM history from a real life, kind of taking on like a football manager kind of experience. He wants to make history in kind of a footballing term, really. So I'll just pull up my Real Madrid team here. Like you're saying with your Man City team, there's not. I mean, I've still obviously more Real Madrid players. I've only had them for one window, but the amount of cutting and selling and chopping and changing you need to do as a manager to fit inside the wage budgets. How have you found that as a manager, especially to this season, because it's your first back in management? How have you found the obviously 800k wage budget for the Championship? Obviously, you're kind of having to work with teams in the higher tier who've all got 2 million for their wage budget. How have you kind of coped with that?
The wage budget thing don't really bother me. Like, you've got to go with what you can. Like, if you can, so like, I've been selling players so I can get like I'm actually just over 10,000 budget right now. I'm trying to sell either Schlupp or Tadipo so I can get under it. But it's a very good. It's like a proper rating being on here because it'll stop people going stupid. It stops people being like, "Oh, I'm gonna have this person," and then you'll have some guy with like 5 million budget, then playing someone with like 600,000 in the same league. So it's like you've got to be very careful. Like, don't go. Like, I focus more on who I'm going to sell first, than who I'm going to bring in, and then obviously you go from there. It's like, right, I've got this budget. I need to make sure that I'm not obviously chucking it all on one like position. Make sure I'm spreading it out. Like, I've spread mine out quite a bit. I brought in a couple of defenders to make sure my back line's safe, midfielders, and it's like, just be careful with it. Really, it's a very good thing to have into the thing. I proper rate it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it kind of like it's all about trying to kind of, if you like, kind of bring that gap in quality kind of down really, because obviously we've got players that aren't as good, we've got players that like are better. Kind of we want to try and kind of bridge the gap in the skill, if you like. Because obviously, like everyone always says, there's not much like skill gap in OVFM, which is kind of what we're after. Because we want the players who aren't as good to kind of have the like the enjoyment. We don't want players who are losing like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 games a season, because it kind of kills what we're about. So obviously, that's people say, why do we have the wage budget, and that's kind of why it kind of separates us from the kind of other OCMs, which are a little bit more strict in the kind of Super League, because they want every team to be absolutely world class, and that's just, for me, that's just boring. It doesn't. It takes away what a career mode should be about, because in real life you don't see teams that are like literally 18 of the best players in the world. It just ruins the kind of realism, if you like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have it all on the same length as well. Like, instead, you could have essentially done, if you wanted to base off, because City in real life are this rich, they get an extra like 3,000 wage budget, for example. Like, it's nice to see it all on the same wavelength, giving everyone an equal opportunity to get as best a team as they can within the budget.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. It's about leveling that skill gap and not giving us all an unfair advantage. Because you don't want to see. I want to see Cardiff. So I want to see Birmingham. So I want to see like Wigan's coming up there and doing bits. But I want to see teams like City and Arsenal having to fight just as hard to stay in the league as maybe a Villa or a Newcastle. Because that's what it kind of adds that bit of spice to it. Like when we put the tweets and go, oh, Birmingham are in the FA Cup final or Birmingham are in the Champions League final. People are like, what? But they're coming to watch the streams and they see like, what's this all about? Let's have a look. And they see Jolly ripping teams apart who should be putting him to shreds, really. But yeah, that's obviously like you said, that's what it's about, leveling that kind of skill gap, which is obviously what we're all about. But yeah, that's pretty much kind of it for the stream, guys. Obviously, we had the World Cup last 4 teams tonight. We had the third place playoff, Korea versus China, which the Mike's China won 2-1 against Oakley South Korea, who you've got to argue probably should have had few more goals, but Son kind of let him down there. Then we had the World Cup final, England versus Belgium, the World Cup final that people thought we'd get a couple of years ago. We didn't. We did in OVFM. England did not bring it home. Tom, who is back-to-back domestic league and cup double champion for the first 2 seasons of OVFM, lost to Chris, who managed in the first season of OVFM, did it in the second, come back for the World Cup and season 3. But he won the World Cup. Then we had the introduction of the OVFM FIFA Ultimate Team cards, that you'll kind of see in and around kind of on the community, within the community. This website is called Cardcraft, and they're kind of going to be our partners for the next couple of seasons going on. If you use the code OVFM on their website, you can find it through Twitter. If you just search on Twitter, Cardcraft, I'll do it on the screen, I'll chat. Then yeah, you can go directly to their website there, and kind of get a card with you with your OVFM stuff. Or you can get a normal FIFA card, so you can get a Legends card, just a Team of the Week card, any card you want in FIFA 20 and 21. They're on there already for you guys, kind of just to go and get your hold of. And obviously OVFM, the code will get you 21% off for a little while, and it will drop to 10% afterwards, because it's currently running a promotion for FIFA 21 where 21% for FIFA 21 cards, so it kind of works like that. But yeah, here's their Twitter. You can head straight over to their website, and brings you into here. A code at OVFM, check out, will get money off. So obviously you can see the cards up here are only £10. So you get 21% off. You're looking at like £8 for a FIFA card, printed in pretty decent quality. You can put it up on your wall and all that stuff. And obviously the OVFM card will be somewhere in here in the next few days. I'll kind of pull that up in the messages and DMs from Dylan, who owns them. So you can see all here. That's what the card kind of base will look like. You can see our kind of badges there, and obviously that's what your cards will kind of end up looking like. 'Cause obviously, see my beautiful face on there then. But yeah, and then obviously, last kind of bit we talked about was the scouting system, which I'll chat more about it in the Discord. And obviously, then we had Corey's thoughts, Lewis's thoughts, and obviously mine as well over the whole night. So anything you want to watch, guys, the stream will be live on here for a couple of days, and I'll put it on YouTube for the next couple of days as well for you guys to watch anything back. World Cup rewards will be released in the next coming days as well. Won't be in play for the window now because not everyone got the chance to play in the World Cup and they'll be ready for the mid-season window. But yeah, any passing thoughts before you go, Corey and Lewis? I think Lewis is still on mute, but Corey, any passing thoughts?
Well, I don't know how far we actually are away from the season starting. I know that I've got a Europa League qualify game of things, but apart from that, best of luck to everyone. Like I say, enjoy, have fun, and let's see who takes command this season.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming in the stream, Corey. We massively appreciate it. And no doubt we'll get you on some more calls in the future, along with some other ones. Maybe when we do the draws between with you going into the tier 3, we're going to get you in for your pots when that comes around.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Lewis, any passing thoughts from you before we end? Like, kind of just summarise what we've seen tonight.
It's been a pretty mad night, but apart from that, just looking forward to the season starting. We've got some good. Well, I'm not sure when the draws are happening. I can't remember, but hopefully there are some good Europa League and Champions League draws. It should be a good season.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get the draws together tonight, I'll put something out there. I'll maybe get them going tonight, but obviously I'm gonna have a quick drink and eat because this stream's just been very long. And I need some food and some water before my throat dies. But yeah, if I can get it going tonight, obviously I will. If not, be the next couple of days. And obviously, yeah, they'll be out in the Discord as well soon. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. There's only a few people left in the stream, but to everyone that hasn't watched this back, thanks for listening and bearing with us with some issues during the stream. It wouldn't be OVFM if there wasn't a difficulty in the stream. So yeah, thanks for bearing with us again. We are working on getting these streams better. I'm not the most technically gifted when it comes to streaming, so I will get there with this stuff. And when I got the Mac back, obviously it's out of fire, like I said in the chat a few weeks ago. When I got that back, the streams will be much better anyway. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming in, and we'll see you whenever, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.